Nestled on the outskirts of the small village of Ravenwood, there lay a dense, ancient forest. The villagers spoke in hushed tones about the Whispering Forest, a place shrouded in mystery and dread. According to local legend, anyone who ventured too deep into its heart would never return. The forest was said to be alive with the whispers of lost souls, guiding the unwary to their doom. Evelyn, a determined journalist, arrived in Ravenwood on assignment to debunk the myth of the Whispering Forest. Armed with skepticism and a keen sense of adventure, she set out one foggy morning to explore the woods. The villagers warned her against it, but Evelyn dismissed their fears as mere superstition. As she ventured deeper into the forest, the trees grew denser, and the sunlight barely penetrated the thick canopy above. The air grew colder, and an eerie silence enveloped her. Evelyn's confidence wavered, but she pressed on, determined to uncover the truth. After hours of wandering, Evelyn came across an old, overgrown path. Following it, she stumbled upon a dilapidated cabin. Curious, she pushed open the creaking door and stepped inside. The cabin was filled with dusty furniture and strange, archaic symbols carved into the walls. Suddenly, she heard a faint whisper. "Leave, now." Evelyn's heart raced, but she convinced herself it was the wind. She pulled out her camera and began taking pictures of the strange symbols. As she reviewed the photos, she noticed something chilling. Shadowy figures in the background, growing clearer with each shot. Terrified, Evelyn decided to leave the cabin. But as she stepped outside, she realized the forest had changed. The path she had followed was gone, replaced by an impenetrable wall of trees. The whispers grew louder, surrounding her. "You shouldn't have come." Panic set in, and Evelyn ran blindly through the woods, desperate to find her way out. The whispers followed her, growing more insistent and malevolent. She stumbled upon an old, moss-covered graveyard. The gravestones were worn and illegible, but one stood out, a large, ornate tomb with fresh flowers at its base. Drawn to the tomb, Evelyn approached and saw her own name etched into the stone. She recoiled in horror, realizing she was not the first to venture into the forest and meet this fate. The whispers grew to a deafening roar, and she felt a cold hand on her shoulder. Spinning around, she came face to face with a spectral figure, its eyes hollow and filled with sorrow. "You must join us," it whispered, its voice echoing with the cries of the damned. Evelyn screamed and backed away, but there was no escape. The forest closed in around her, the trees forming a prison of twisted branches. The spirits of the lost surrounded her, their eyes pleading and mournful. She felt her strength ebbing away, her will to resist fading. With a final, desperate cry, Evelyn was consumed by the darkness. The forest fell silent once more, the whispers fading into the distance. Days later, the villagers found her camera at the edge of the forest. The last photo taken showed Evelyn's terrified face, surrounded by shadowy figures. The villagers knew she was gone, another soul claimed by the Whispering Forest. The legend continued, and the forest remained a place of fear and mystery. And on quiet nights, when the wind rustled through the trees, the whispers could still be heard, echoing through the ancient woods, warning those who dared to listen.